Jacob's Well, a popular swimming hole near Wimberley, will remain closed to swimmers for the foreseeable future.
Beneath the sparkling surface of a popular Texas swimming hole lies a labyrinth so deadly it has claimed over a dozen lives. What if the clear, cool water you see masks one of the most dangerous underwater caves on Earth, a place where explorers vanished without a trace? When scientists sent a state-of-the-art drone into Jacob's Well, they didn't just map rock formations. What the camera revealed was a bone-chilling graveyard frozen in time, confirming legends of a natural trap far deadlier than anyone dared imagine. What secrets does this underwater tomb still keep? The hidden menace below. Jacob's Well may look like a peaceful swimming spot in the Texas Hill Country, but beneath its clear, cool water lies something far more dangerous. To visitors, it's a refreshing escape, calm, inviting, and deceptively safe. In reality, it's the entrance to one of the most hazardous underwater cave systems in the world. This isn't just a simple well. It's a karstic spring that drops into a deep vertical cave connected to the Trinity Aquifer, a massive underground water source. Most swimmers never go beyond the first chamber, about 30 feet down, where sunlight still reaches. But beyond that point, the well transforms into a dark, unforgiving maze known for claiming lives. Over time, Jacob's Well has earned a grim reputation among divers. What begins as curiosity often turns into danger. The cave system consists of 4 known chambers, each more treacherous than the last. These spaces are linked by tight, winding passages with names like the Birth Canal, the Coffin, and the Final Squeeze. These narrow routes leave almost no room for error. One wrong move can trap even experienced divers, turning exploration into a fight for survival. Beneath its beauty, Jacob's Well hides a silent and deadly labyrinth. The water at Jacob's Well presents the most deceptive aspect of the location. The crystal clarity of the water attracts swimmers, while it creates a false sense of security for divers. The sparkling surface hides a hidden area that extends to the bottom, which contains soft, fine limestone silt. The water transforms into an impenetrable white fog known as a silt out, when one careless fin kick disturbs the powdery silt. The complete loss of visibility happens within seconds, which causes divers to become disoriented and lose their ability to follow safety procedures. Panic breaks out while the supply of air decreases. The combination of these natural features results in deadly outcomes. More than a dozen divers have vanished into the depths of the well, where their bodies remain locked in deep underwater sites that recovery teams find impossible to reach. Jacob's Well has become a permanent resting place for many who choose to enter its depths.
Water has stopped flowing at Jacob's Well. It's a popular attraction that draws thousands to swim there.
The diving area functions as a dangerous undersea hunting ground that uses its attractive appearance to hide its deadly nature. The well maintains its ability to attract people despite its present dangers. Young, ambitious divers are drawn by the thrill and the mystery, desperate to conquer what few have survived. Local authorities face difficulties in breaking the cycle of tragedy, which follows the uncharted depth exploration and secret discovery, which local authorities face difficulties in breaking. The existing losses required authorities to close the well by installing heavy metal grates, which they welded to cover all dangerous entrances. The well operated as a closed system until it decided to operate as an open system. Divers who wanted to explore their underwater world returned because they wanted to see what had happened at the site, and they brought their equipment to break the security fence that the site had built to protect their area. What lies beneath Jacob's Well is more than just a natural wonder. It is a deadly, ever-present threat, and the world was about to get a clearer look at its horrors when technology was called in to do what humans no longer could. The well's lethal design. The treacherous nature of Jacob's Well is deeply rooted in its unique geological structure and the cave system's treacherous design. The well's chambers are connected by suffocatingly tight passages that challenge even the most experienced divers. One such passage, grimly named the Birth Canal, is barely wide enough for a diver with gear to squeeze through. Farther along lie even more menacing obstacles, like the Coffin and the Final Squeeze, each promising disaster to anyone unprepared. Adding to the danger is the fragile quality of the cave floor. Unlike solid rock, these underwater chambers rest on thick layers of fine limestone silt. This powdery sediment is easily disturbed, and one wrong movement sends it billowing in dense clouds that block out all light. The sudden loss of visibility traps divers in total darkness, cutting off their ability to navigate or communicate. The effect is known as a silt-out, and it is regarded as the most feared hazard in cave diving anywhere. During a silt-out, a diver can no longer see their own hands, their instruments, or even their buddy. Without visual reference points, disorientation creeps in within seconds. The diver may swim deeper into danger unintentionally or become frantic in trying to find an exit, accelerating air consumption in a panic. The increasing anxiety compounds the physical grip of the environment, creating a deadly feedback loop. The crystal-clear water of Jacob's Well functions as a dangerous weapon because people mistakenly believe its safe appearance. The water's perfect visibility attracts divers to explore its depths, which leads to their dangerous risk evaluation. Divers face hidden risks in this area because the clear water hides dangerous loose silt that becomes visible through a single careless fin stroke. The complete history of tragic events shows that this environment provides no mercy to those who enter it. More than 12 divers have lost their lives in these waters, disappearing into areas which contain both dangerous and inaccessible chambers. The conditions present at the well have led to its reputation as a diver's grave. The natural world contains beautiful danger, which people fail to see until it becomes evident. The dangerous elements of Jacob's Well function as dual forces that draw explorers into its depths while keeping them away from its hazardous environment. The well's design creates a physical trap that prevents people from escaping. The narrow and unstable passages create a security barrier that prevents people from escaping when silt clouds block their way, because moving gravel makes it harder to receive help from outside. The underwater maze presents two pathways that lead to death for anyone who makes a single wrong choice. Local communities work to decrease their dangerous situation because they need to solve their serious safety issues. The installed metal grates and barriers, which workers welded together, only provide temporary protection against deeper chamber breaches. The well exhibits an active defense system that divers attempt to break through using bolt cutters and other equipment. The divers return to the site because they cannot resist the urge to explore. Beneath the serene surface awaits an environment engineered by nature's own deadly hand, a place where even the best planning can be undone in an instant. The tragic history. Jacob's Well's sinister reputation did not emerge overnight. Decades of tragedy have stained its depths and earned it the uneasy respect of the diving community and locals alike. At least 12 divers have vanished within its twisting, dark passages over the years, each disappearance adding another layer to the well's dark legacy. These losses are often permanent, as the unforgiving conditions prevent many of the victims from ever recovering. The stories of those lost here are haunting. Many were experienced divers drawn by the well's legendary challenge, lured by the chance to explore the mysterious fourth chamber, long thought unreachable. Yet even veterans succumbed to the cave's hazards: tight squeezes, unstable gravel, and catastrophic silt-outs. Their last moments remain submerged in silence, their fate a grim testament to the well's deadly nature. In response to the mounting toll, local authorities took measures to protect future visitors. Heavy metal grates were welded over the well's dangerous entrances, an attempt to seal off the deadly chambers from human intrusion. For some time, it seemed these barriers might finally quiet the tragic cycle, but the well refuses to remain closed. Divers, driven by obsession and curiosity, returned again and again, breaking through the grates in secret night raids. The promise of discovery and the powerful allure of the unknown proved stronger than rules or warnings. These repeated breaches only perpetuated the cycle of danger and loss. Jacob's Well is not just a site of isolated accidents. It reflects a larger cultural phenomenon within the diving and exploration communities. In the late 20th century, cave diving was a new frontier defined by daring and sometimes desperate exploration. Young, fearless adventurers filled the well's banks, eager to push boundaries despite the risks. This reckless spirit led to several high-profile tragedies, including the infamous disappearances of divers Kent Maupin and Mark Brasher in 1979. Their ill-prepared descent into the well's deepest chambers shocked the community and underscored the lethal dangers of underestimating this site. Their story helped catalyze rescue efforts and technological exploration years later. Those rescue attempts were harrowing and underscored the well's merciless nature. Expert divers repeatedly risked their lives trying to recover victims, only to be thwarted by shifting gravel and near-zero visibility. The battle against nature's force inside the cave was exhausting and heartbreaking, ending with the decision to permanently seal the well with a concrete lid. Yet the legends and tragedies of Jacob's Well continue to echo, casting a long shadow that draws curious eyes and hearts toward its depths. The well's story was far from over, and what technology revealed next would alter the understanding of this underwater graveyard forever. The drone mission. As the tragedies at Jacob's Well continued to mount, scientists turned to a safer solution, one that wouldn't risk more lives. Instead of sending divers into the dangerous depths, they deployed a remotely operated underwater drone called Explorer. Built to handle intense pressure, it carried high-definition cameras, powerful lights, and sonar to map areas too dangerous for humans. On a calm morning, the team gathered at the well, monitoring screens inside a nearby van. A fiber optic tether connected the drone, streaming live footage as it was carefully lowered into the 12-foot opening. At first, the descent felt almost peaceful. Clear blue water and smooth limestone walls reflected sunlight, revealing a calm, almost inviting scene. But that changed quickly. At around 80 feet, natural light vanished, replaced by complete darkness. The drone's lights pierced the black, revealing tight, twisting passages ahead. One of them, infamously known as the birth canal, narrowed into a claustrophobic tunnel, marking the point where exploration turned from calm to deeply unsettling. The tight squeeze required precise control to navigate through its narrow space. The operator of the drone decreased the thruster power because he understood that any disturbance of the loose gravel ground would result in silt being raised, which would create the dangerous visibility collapse that has caused numerous diver deaths. The robot advanced through tense moments until it reached the third chamber, which contained a space that resembled a waiting area that existed without any light. The drone systems all checked out, stable and functional, ready for what came next. The fourth chamber remained inaccessible through its narrow entrance, which served as the last barrier to the hidden area where the well stored its deadliest secrets. The drone encountered tunnel walls that closed upon him while he advanced through the tunnel because the rocks and silt underneath him started to shift their positions. The drone lights suddenly illuminated something that was not a natural object. The operator used the camera to examine the situation while he moved forward for a closer look. The screen display created a major shock to the entire team. The gravel contained an underwater object that showed the distinct shape of a scuba fin that appeared to be 50% buried. The site contained a damaged oxygen tank with its regulator part covered in underwater storage, which had lasted for many years. A torn piece of a wetsuit snagged on a rock completed the chilling tableau, evidence that this was not just rock and debris, but a frozen grave. The drone lights illuminated a skeletal body, which became partially trapped under shifting gravel inside a tiny opening. The researchers realized this was no ordinary geological survey. They were witnessing a decades-old tragedy through the eyes of a machine. The digital enhancement process uncovered a concealed name tag that belonged to Kent Maupin, who had vanished from the well area and became one of its most well-known missing divers. What began as a mission to map underwater passages had transformed into an eerie reconnaissance of a watery tomb. The drone's surveillance confirmed the existence of a deadly trap and opened a window into a dark chapter of Jacob's Well's history that had long eluded human eyes. Uncovering the graveyard. As the drone shifted its view, the team's horror deepened. The exploration revealed more than just one set of remains. Nearby lay additional scuba tanks and fins, signs that Kent Maupin had not been alone in his final descent. The mass of victims suggested the drone was navigating a macabre graveyard, a silent chamber that held multiple lost divers entombed over the decades. This chamber, known only in legend, was now seen in vivid detail. Before the drone's mission, all knowledge of the fourth chamber's deadly nature was based on fragmented maps and the recollections of the few survivors. Now, inaccessible spaces once cloaked in mystery were revealed to be active traps, unstable, shifting graveyards shaped by loose gravel and rock that could collapse without warning. The evidence was chilling. The final squeeze was less a mere corridor and more a predator's lair, designed by nature to imprison anyone careless enough to enter. Loose silt and gravel movements hidden beneath the clear water created deadly pitfalls for even the most skilled divers. For years, the well had silently claimed victims in this unforgiving maze. Seeing the skeletal remains of Kent Maupin, the well's legendary lost diver offered a haunting human face to the drone's findings. It gave painful context to years of loss and unanswered questions. Scientists and families finally had proof of what had happened. A slide of gravel had buried him alive in the narrow passage, turning the cave itself into a deadly coffin. The discovery redefined the understanding of Jacob's Well. It was not simply a cave system, but a hazardous labyrinth that actively worked against those inside it. Beyond the danger of disorientation, structural instability meant that rescue attempts were not just perilous. They were sometimes impossible. This fact explained why some bodies had never been recovered, sealed away in underwater graves. The drone's revelations also raised disturbing new questions. How many other lost divers remained hidden in these chambers? Were there even more paths leading to unknown dangers? The discovery opened a door to an expansive aquatic labyrinth where mysteries and dangers extended beyond the mapped areas. For the first time, technology had pulled back the veil on the well's most feared chamber and provided irrefutable evidence of its lethal power. The haunting image of that underwater graveyard challenged not only scientists, but anyone tempted to underestimate the well's dangers. The knowledge gained from the drone mission transformed Jacob's Well from a legend whispered among divers to a documented natural trap, one that commands both respect and caution from all who dare approach its waters. The silent, chilling confirmation of the mass grave beneath Jacob's Well only deepened the well's mysteries and set the stage for the strange legends and theories that would follow. Legends and mysteries persist. Even after the chilling discoveries captured by an underwater drone, Jacob's Well continues to stir curiosity and unease. The footage confirmed its deadly nature, yet it also raised deeper questions about what still lies hidden below. For generations, this place has balanced between beauty and fear, wrapped in stories that refuse to disappear. One of the oldest legends claims the well is bottomless, stretching endlessly into the earth. While modern exploration has mapped several chambers, it also revealed a far more complex system than expected. The passages form a maze, and what has been seen may only be a fraction. Some believe the deepest known chamber isn't the end at all, just a gateway to something further beyond reach. The existence of people who share this trait describes something which remains difficult to comprehend. Divers who've survived close calls often speak of a strange pull, an urge to go deeper despite the danger. The spring held sacred value for Native American tribes who believed in its sacredness, which continues to exist in the present day. The well creates a sensation of life for current people who report it as their experience. Stranger still are the stories surrounding its behavior. The divers became trapped when sudden silt clouds and shifting gravel created unexpected conditions, which led some people to believe that these incidents exceeded normal chance events. The other group believes in scientific evidence, which demonstrates that the Trinity Aquifer beneath this location contains extensive untouched areas. The atmosphere allows for the existence of undiscovered life forms because conditions there support life. Yet nothing has been established so far. The extreme theories begin with people who believe in portals and hidden powers and entities that defend the underwater territory. The ideas that people present either exist as imaginative creations or actual entities. But Jacob's Well shows resistance to straightforward explanation. The place remains a focus for mysterious activities because it possesses an attractive quality that contains dangerous elements and concealed knowledge that will remain hidden forever. Jacob's Well is a haunting blend of beauty, danger, and mystery, a place where history and legend intertwine beneath crystal-clear waters. The drone's eye revealed a grim truth, but it also deepened the questions that keep us looking closer. This story reminds us that the most alluring places often hide the darkest secrets. If you found this exploration compelling, please like and subscribe for more dives into the world's most fascinating mysteries. And don't miss the next story already waiting for you on screen, where another mystery goes even deeper.